It's time we do a side-by-side of the two $1,000-ish VR headsets on the market, the HTC Vive XR Elite and the Meta Quest Pro. So let's get started. We are going to start off talking about pricing. Now, when the Vive XR Elite was announced, the Quest Pro was already on the market, selling for around $1,500. The XR Elite was going to launch at roughly $1,100-ish, and the word on the street was that it was meant to be a cheaper alternative to the Quest Pro, lacking some of the features of the Pro, but at a cheaper price. However, shortly before the XR Elite launched, the Quest Pro got a substantial price drop, going from $1,500 to $999-ish, making it cheaper than the XR Elite, but with more features, giving the clear pricing advantage to the Quest Pro. But maybe the XR Elite has some compelling reasons to choose it over the Pro? Let's find out. First, let's talk about what powers these two devices. The Meta Quest Pro is using the Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2 Plus chip, while the XR Elite is running the Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2 chip, so no plus. The XR2 Plus chip is actually more powerful than the XR2 chip, making the Meta Quest Pro the winner here. You are getting 12 gigabytes of memory with both headsets, but for storage with the Quest Pro, you're getting a 256 gigabytes of storage space, whereas with the XR Elite, you're only getting 128 gigabytes of storage. For lenses, they both have pancake lenses, but the Quest Pros are noticeably larger, which leads us to the FOV, or field of view. The FOV for the XR Elite was measured by me at 100 degrees horizontally and 80 degrees vertically. The horizontal measurement is actually pretty decent, but that is completely destroyed by the vertical of 80, giving you the perception of staring through a wide but narrow window at the VR world. Compare that to the Quest Pro with my measurement FOV of 102 horizontally and 104 vertically. Keep in mind, I had the headset adjusted to get the lenses as close to my eyes as possible, and if you adjust it so the lenses are further away, you will lose a few degrees, but it will still be far superior to the XR Elite, so this is a huge win for the Quest Pro. For resolution, the Vive XR Elite advertises a 1920 by 1920 per eye, and yep, that about sums it up. Not an amazing resolution, but not terrible either, and the picture is decent enough. The Quest Pro advertises a resolution of 1800 by 1920 per eye, and so you may say, wow, the XR Elite actually gets a win here. Except for the Quest Pro, there's more to that story. The Quest Pro has higher PPD, or pixels per degree, than the XR Elite, 500 plus local dimming zones. Basically, there's a lot more going on behind the scenes with the Quest Pro lenses that give them a far superior image to the XR Elite. For refresh rate, you're looking at 90 Hz with the XR Elite, and with the Meta Quest Pro, you get 72 and 90 Hz, and using it with PCVR, you can choose an 80 Hz option as well. Adjusting your IPD is done on the XR Elite with this little knob here at the bottom, while on the Quest Pro, you actually have to manually move your lenses, and with both, it displays your IPD number in the headset so you can accurately set it. A minor win here goes to the XR Elite, as it's much preferred to have an actual button to adjust the IPD as opposed to moving the lenses themselves. If you're a glasses wearer, these headsets take two separate approaches. On the XR Elite, you can adjust the lenses themselves to your prescription up to a point by turning the lenses themselves. An issue a glasses wearer might have, based on what I've heard from some glasses wearers, is that most people who need a diopter adjustment usually have some type of stigmatism built into their prescriptions as well, which won't be addressed with the diopter adjustments on the XR Elite, so such a person would probably still deal with a little bit of a blurry image. On the Quest Pro, you manually adjust how close your eyes are to the lens with this little button here to accommodate wearing the glasses themselves. And of course, you can buy lens inserts for the Quest Pro. For pass-through, the clear win here goes to the XR Elite. While both have color pass-through, the XR Elite has a depth sensor, and its overall pass-through experience is much clearer, and in some situations I can actually read words off of screens and phones. With the Quest Pro, the best way I can describe it is a slightly better color version of what the Quest 2 offers. I found the Pro's pass-through to be a bit grainy, and light from screens and phones completely blew out the image. Moving on to the design of these headsets, to include the head strap, facial interface, and weight, and starting with the XR Elite, the Elite has the ability to be used in either a standard format or a glasses style format. In standard format, it weighs in at 611 grams, while in glasses style format, it weighs in at 283 grams. The Quest Pro, on the other hand, only has the ability to be used in a standard format, weighing in at 765-ish grams, give or take. And while yes, this is heavier than the Elite in standard format, the design and balance of the Quest Pro makes it a far more comfortable headset to wear, and I never really noticed the added weight. The XR Elite comes with a cheaply designed facial interface that is not very comfortable and does absolutely nothing to prevent light coming in the sides and causing glare on the lenses, while the Quest Pro is designed as a halo style device with a forehead section that bears the weight of the headset. The Quest Pro ships with detachable partial light blockers, and by partial I mean they only stop light coming in the sides, but the bottom is completely wide open. Meta does sell a complete light blocker for around $50, which I would not recommend. Instead, get some third-party light blockers, kind of like the ones I show here, and I will link those in the description as well. I was not able to find any third-party options yet for the XR Elite, and I ultimately modified it myself, and while it's not much to look at, it definitely keeps out the light now. But taking all the various formats and weights into account, I still find the Quest Pro to be the more comfortable headset to wear, and like I said, invest about $25 into these third-party light blockers and you're golden. Moving on to the battery, both headsets get about 2-ish hours of life out of their respective batteries, and for the XR Elite, in glasses format, you will need to buy a battery pack with a minimum of 30 watt hours to keep it powered. I'll link what I use in the description. I actually found this particular battery pack quite useful, not only with the XR Elite in glasses format, but also with the Elite in standard format, as you significantly extend your playtime, and also with the Quest Pro, as it keeps the Pro completely charged as I use it, and again, significantly extends my playtime. For both headsets, I plug the cable into the headset, run it down the inside back of my shirt, and store the battery in my pocket, and I'm golden. For an audio solution, the XR Elite's built-in speakers compared to the Quest Pro's built-in speakers are really nothing to write home about. The best I can say about them is they do the job, whereas with the Quest Pro, the built-in speakers are actually pretty decent. The Quest Pro gets the win here, but what about external devices, you're asking? Well, the XR Elite does not have a headphone jack, so you're kind of SOL in that regards, while the Quest Pro has a headphone jack on both sides of the headset, so you can choose which side to plug in your headphones. Beyond headphone jacks, for the XR Elite, you may be able to utilize an adapter like this one that has a headphone jack on it, and if not, well, Bluetooth is an option as well, if you don't mind latency. Basically, in a nutshell, whether you're talking built-in audio or external device friendly, the Quest Pro wins hands down. Both headsets can do PCVR, either wired or wireless. Meta's software for this I found to be the better of the two, as I was better able to tweak resolutions and bitrate, etc., as opposed to what HTC provided, but both offer the virtual desktop app on their stores, so if you want the best PCVR experience, just drop the $20 on that particular app. On the topic of PCVR, both headsets come with a Wi-Fi 6E support, and I cannot express enough how much I enjoy Wi-Fi 6E. For me, I found Wi-Fi 6E a significant step up over a standard Wi-Fi 6, to the point where games I normally wired into my PC for max performance, I'm now running wireless with no issues. Moving on to the controllers, the two options are night and day. The XR Elite comes with your standard controllers with tracking rings that are tracked with cameras on the headsets. The controllers feel cheaply made and quite frankly don't perform much better. I was suffering constant tracking issues and even issues with button pressing not registering, specifically with the trigger and the palm buttons. This could simply be a software issue that is resolved with future software updates, but as of the making of this video, I'm not impressed. The controllers have a built-in battery that has an approximate life of 15 hours, and you charge it by plugging in the cable that comes with it into the handle and into whatever power source you have. An issue I noticed here was that these controllers have a serious power drain going on. Quite a few times I placed the controllers down one day, fully charged, and I come back the next day or the day after to find dead controllers, and I was never able to solve this problem. Contrast those with the Pro controllers. Each Pro controller has its own chip as well as 3 cameras on the controllers themselves so that each controller can track itself. What this means is no tracking ring that can get in the way of doing things in VR, or that you randomly smack into your headset as you go to scratch your nose. It also means you don't have to keep the controllers in sight of the cameras on the headset in order to be tracked. The Quest Pro controllers also have a built-in battery pack that has an approximate life of 10 hours playtime, and you get a charging cradle for them and the headset to keep them all charged. Performance-wise, these things far outperform the XR Elite controllers, and for me, the controllers alone are enough to choose the Quest Pro over the Elite. I've even got a pair of the Pro controllers for my Quest 2, and when the Quest 3 launches, you'll be able to use those with that as well. So yeah, big win here for the Quest Pro. The Quest Pro also comes with face and eye tracking, which the XR Elite does not. The word is you should be able to buy an attachment for the XR Elite at some point, but as of the making of this video on HTC's website, I saw nothing that said it was compatible with the XR Elite. So if you are someone who wants face and eye tracking built in, the Quest Pro is for you, and also one more win for the Pro. For me, it's basically a no-brainer. The Quest Pro is the better deal. Not only is it cheaper at $999, you can also find third-party sellers where you can get it even cheaper. I got mine refurbished off of Amazon for around $800. In addition, with better visuals, more storage, better controllers, more comfortable to wear, etc., etc. I really can't think of even one reason to buy the Vive XR Elite, and am recommending the Quest Pro. But what do you think? Have you had a chance to use either of these? Let me know in the comments below.